Hey guys, let me recap a little bit after watching the film from this past week's game versus Monroe. Real proud of our guys going up to Monroe and playing, I thought, a very solid football game in all three phases. I thought offensively we continued to run the ball well. I thought we threw the ball with great efficiency. I thought Terrence made good decisions. Wideouts continue to improve. Young guys continue to develop. So another positive step forward there. Took care of the football, and that's been another reason of our surgence, I guess, a resurgence in the last 6 games is we're really doing a great job of taking care of the ball. I thought Elijah McGuire was effective out of the backfield as running the ball, and I thought Alonzo Harris was the Alonzo Harris that that we like to see. He ran the ball strong, showed good speed, got a lot of yak yards, and then obviously became, I think, the 3rd player in school history to get 3,000. So really proud of him. Defensively, if you look at the stats, you say, well, maybe you didn't play that well, but sometimes stats do lie a little bit, and I thought that overall we did a lot of good things defensively. One is we caused 3 turnovers, and 4 if you count the 4th down stop. We had a lot of tackles for loss. I think we had 7.5 sacks, so we got a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Gave up a couple big plays that were a big chunk of those yards that we would like to head back. But we got a young secondary. Some of those guys are still learning back there and still getting their feet wet. But I thought they came up with big plays when we needed them, and did a lot of good things. Special teams wise, I thought was very solid. Our kickoff coverage units was the best that it had been this year, and that's why our kickoff team is leading the Sun Belt Conference in kickoff. So I was pleased there. Defensively, some great efforts. If you go back, and Ringo, I think, had 2.5 sacks, was very strong. Dominic Tovell had 10 tackles in the game. And then Jake Mobert had 2 sacks, 2 fumbles forced. He's just really playing awfully well. And Boris Eniyama is just, for us, he's all over the field right now. He right now is the heart and soul of that defense with the passion he's playing with. He's playing at a different speed. So real proud of our guys. I thought they had a solid football team. Coach Berry, I thought, had them well prepared. I think they do a really good job there. They were hard to stop defensively, and but glad to go get a tough road win to move to 6-0 in the conference and to continue improving. With that being said, it don't get any easier this week because we catch a team, to me, that's red hot with App State coming to town. I think on a 4-game winning streak. They've been very competitive all year long, even before those 4 games. Their first year in the conference, they don't look like a first year in the conference team. They've got, to me, 2 of the best players in the league, in Lamb, their quarterback, and then Cox, the running back. I think both of those guys are leading, or I think Cox may be 2nd, the conference in their respected positions. If you look at the stats, they'll scare you to death because I think App State leads the conference in just about every statistical category. I think they're number 1 in defense, maybe number 2 in offense. They're doing a great job up there, and they've got a great program with a lot of tradition. And I told everybody when they entered this conference that they were going to be a good football team. And I hope everybody listened to me because they're a team that knows how to win, a program that knows how to win. They're just changing conferences, and so they've got a lot of tradition up that way, and I know they'll come down here and it's going to be one heck of a ball game. So one team, like they're hot. We feel like we're playing at a pretty high level too. So it should be for an exciting game as they bring a lot of good players in here. They went up to Arkansas State last week and had them 37-20 in the 4th quarter with a few minutes left before Arkansas State scored a late touchdown to make it look a little closer. So they're an outstanding team. We'll have to have another great week of practice moving forward. Couple of notes. Reggie Miles, as you know, is one of our guys on our special teams. He's broke his arm, so he will be out for the rest of the year. As he started on 2 of our special teams, and so had a couple of guys get a little banged up the other night. Physical football game, but hopefully everybody else should be available. And Lonzo came out of it healthy, and that was a big plus. So hopefully he can continue running and playing the way he's capable of playing. So with that, any questions?
How does it change the dynamic of game week and maybe the game itself when you have 2 teams both really red hot right now?
Well, to me, it's a big game for us because we always say all the things like it's the next game, it's a conference game. And but for us, for us to have a shot to stay within conference race is a must-win game. So, and for them, they obviously want to continue their momentum that they have. And so you got two teams that both have some win streaks, and we're going to come in, and I think it'll be a great crowd, be a great environment, and it should be an outstanding game.
Does it feel good to get back to playing somebody that plays real football and not like Northeast, I'm showing my age. Monroe's, that type of defense, and then just throw it all over the park? I mean, App State's gonna do a lot more basic stuff on both sides.
Well, they run the football, and the thing that I always look for a good football team is good football teams. If you're gonna have a chance to me, and it still stands true this day and age, if you can stop the run and you can run the football, you got a chance to win. And that's what they're doing. They're stopping the run, and boy, they're running the football. They got an outstanding runner, and so that's given them an opportunity to be successful.
Is Cox the best running back you've seen in conference play so far?
I would say so far, no question about it. The guy is outstanding. He'll be a challenge. We'll have to get a lot of hats to the ball. First guy there rarely gets that guy down.
Front seven takes pride in being able to stop a guy like that, though.
Well, that'll be a challenge for our front. That I hope they'll take that as a challenge. This guy's coming into conference. I think he's number 2 in rushing right now in yards per game, but he's really close to number 1. So that'll be a great challenge for our front seven, for our defense, seeing a great back like that. And they come off the ball offensively. Their offensive line comes off the football, well coached. They play hard. They play tough. And I think they're a tough team. And so a lot of things that we try to instill in our football team.
I know Toval got a sack the other night as well, but it seemed like the defensive line stepped up because you guys were being spread out, and it was difficult to bring extra pressure, especially in the second half.
No question. And our front, I thought, did a really good job stopping the run, to the fact that it really stopped even trying to run the ball. And so we was able to stop the run with our front because we needed everybody in the coverage, because they were spreading the field and spreading us really thin. And we missed some one-on-one tackles, which, it's hard to make all of those when those guys are that talented. So hopefully we can improve there, though.
Mark Boris and Daniel were talking about, this is it, seniors going out, they want to go out on a good note. What does it mean to you to see this class?
Well, this is our first signing class, and so this would be a pretty emotional night for myself. I always get choked up on the game field on senior night, just like last year when I'm shaking their hands as they announce them as they're running out on the field. Daniel Quay fixing to graduate. That's got to be a record, most starts in school history, 50. I don't know if anybody's even close to that. I don't know if anybody will ever break that. And he got a chance to get some more. And so incredible run he's had. But then all the seniors that we brought in that trusted us when we didn't have anything to offer them. We didn't have bowl games. We didn't have new facilities being built. We didn't have Adidas. We didn't have a bowled-in stadium and all these things. So they trusted us when we said, come here, we're going to do these things. And now they're going to walk out of here, hopefully, a successful program and a lot of school pride in themselves, and hopefully they'll come back and stay close to the program.
Coach, talk about that, on that fourth down, after the game, Alonzo said that he had that fourth down and he felt like there was a bad spot. But that was an opportunity. Had y'all had that first down, you're there, you get close to the red zone, you probably have an opportunity to maybe put them away at that point. But that was a huge momentum where they were able to get that ball back and hold.
Yeah, I almost challenged that play. I just didn't think that the replay would overturn it, because in those type of situations, with all the bodies all mangled in there, and then the game being somewhat close, I didn't want to burn that timeout when I might have needed it later in the game. But we felt like he'd gotten the first down, didn't get it. Next time we just got to make sure there's no way that he couldn't have not gotten it. So we got to come off the ball and got to hit it a little better and give them credit for stopping us.
You guys ready for the fake punt?
Well, it wasn't a fake. You can tell they had told their punter.
Right, it was
Yeah,
an option.
a rugby. If you see it, take it. And our guys, I thought our guys did a really good job defending it. Our outside guys set the edge, and then Sager's the one that really came up and stopped it in the middle till everybody rallied to it. So that was a big stop. Gave our team good field position right there.
Their season kind of mirrors yours a little bit with the slow start and win streak and getting it together now. Just off of, I don't know how much film you watched, but what have you seen as a difference in them from early to now? And what, for you guys, just the feeling that you guys have right now compared to, say, the end of September?
Well, I think right now we're way more confident. You know, our team's got a lot of momentum. Our guys right now, the thing to us see is they're having a lot of fun right now. And they're playing really hard. They really have come together as a team. And I think that's one thing that early in the season may have done. It may have forged this team together a little bit. And when nobody counted on us, they may have counted us out a little bit. I think they rallied together, and they're really showing right now that they're the team that everybody thought we could have been. Would we like to start it better? Or sure, we certainly would have. But if you look at App State, their season a little bit like that, started a little bit slow, but they played a tough schedule early too in some games, and now they're really getting hot, playing well, and so that should just bode for a great game this weekend.
Seems like every week a new young receiver steps up. Devin Scott, Jared Johnson, now Gabe Fuselier. That's kind of what you were hoping would happen, right? After
That's
Jamal
right.
went down.
You know, we see it every week, and you just hit the nail on the head, is these young kids are starting to develop. Gabe Fuselier showed us why. I told our staff that's why we trust our evaluations at camp and on film. We felt like that he could be a difference maker, and then sometimes when kids don't just start off really hot, sometimes you get a little weary and wonder, did you make the right decisions? After this past Saturday, you saw him turn on the jets down that sideline and make the nice catch on the crossing route. That confirmed that kid is going to be an exciting player in the future for us. And we wanted to recruit speed, and that's what he brought to the table, and he definitely showed that the other night. He's getting a lot of confidence. Those young receivers are going to be talented. They're just growing up a little bit right now.
Speaking of that, Trevor's Pat tweeted, "They love you, they hate you, they love you." I don't know if he meant girlfriends or coaches, but what has allowed him to kind of come back into favor now? I mean, obviously the injuries part.
Yeah,
Is there
mostly
something else?
the injury part. You know, he just was not 100%. And when you've got a corner, he's got a bad wheel, it's hard really to play in. You've got a lineman maybe with a little bit of a bad wheel. He can still plug a gap and do his job, but you can get exposed, you know, out in the secondary. And so we just weren't quite ready for him to come back because he wasn't quite himself. He's really getting back to being full speed, and as we know, he is one of our best defensive backs when he's healthy, and I think he's going to play awfully well these last few weeks.
Is it frustrating to know that if Georgia Southern remains undefeated, the best you guys can do is a share?
Yeah, you know, and that's just the way this falls. You know, would you like to play everybody and have a chance to have an outright champion? Yes. Do you want it to be decided by a conference championship game? You know, maybe. I think anybody, even themselves, would like to, you know, have a chance to be outright champions. But somebody asked me the same question a while ago, and I said that really is not even a perfect question, because, you know, for us to even become co-champions, we've got to win this Saturday. For us, this is the conference championship game against Appalachian State. And so this is a big game, and our players know that. It's our last home game, the last time they'll get to protect the house. And so they'll be sky high, I can assure you that.
So paternity leave for football coaches in the afternoon while wife's giving birth. How do you balance family and coaching responsibilities?
It was awfully hard, you know, this time of year. Luckily, you've got a wife that understands the game, but like I said, I was there for the birth and did my work at the hospital that morning, and then they called me down when we was getting close, and ran down and was there for the birth of my son, and took a little while off, and then got back that afternoon, got right back to work, and called and checked on her a couple times. So she's a trooper, and we'll have a chance to spend a lot more family time together, obviously, during Christmas and catch up. The captain's doing great, and Tyler's doing great, and so everything's good.
So does it help, Coach, to have that, instead of talking about game experience, maybe staff experience of having babies? Because Coach Russell, Coach Reed, I mean, now y'all used to being, you know, having to miss a few days, but getting things together?
No question. And like I said, I've got such a good staff, and these guys, we've all been together so long, and so that makes it really easy. But, you know, she allowed me to get my work done there at the hospital. And to be honest with you, like I said last week, I got more work done there than I do here. I'd like to see if Lafayette General let me use their boardroom every Monday. No interruptions. It was great. They even had snacks for me. It was great.
What's allowed this senior class to be so successful on the field?
You know, one is, I thought they bought in to what we were doing and trusted us when we was pushing them really hard. It wasn't easy, their first couple of years. It was a deal where they had to really trust you to go through what we put them through. And we developed, I think, a toughness. We developed a unity among these guys, and they believed in what we were doing. And now they're going to walk out of here with not only 3 bowl rings in the last 3 years, a conference championship last year, and then playing for one this week here, and then seeing our program progress like it has in just 3.5 years. They'll be known for the senior class that really started this resurgence of our program.
How do you instill that into the young bucks that are coming into the program, knowing how far y'all have come? You know?
Well, I think one is our young guys see them work. They see how they work. They see how they prepare. And when you have a senior class that sets a great example, that works hard, that does the right things, those freshmen pick up on that. When you have the same expectation, you hold everybody accountable, regardless of year or classification or position, then everybody, I think, buys in. And so most of the guys have been really good role models for our young kids to watch.
You talk about the evolution of Terrence this year, from coming back from injury, to dealing with a new center, from having his lead receiver go down, and one of his most efficient games maybe ever in the last game.
No question. Coming back from the arm injury early in the year, he probably was a little bit timid to take some big hits on it, which I don't know who wouldn't be, until he gained confidence. And then you can see how his confidence has grown each week and how he's developed with Terry, his center now. So he knows all of Terry's nuances, and they've got the snap count and all those little things down that you have to really work on with a new center, and just all those little things. And then, he's learned his other receivers. He had it down with Jamal, and he still had it down with James, but the other guys hadn't worked as much with those guys. And so now the extra work, entire season, during practice, they've really developed more chemistry, and I think that's paid off. As you've seen now, we've been way more efficient, and he's making great decisions, managing our game as good as any quarterback I've ever seen. So I've been really proud of him.
Anything else? Mark, at this time last year, you had everybody focused game by game like you have ever since that Ole Miss game. 2 games left. Can you still keep that focus?
Well, we better, and so we're not going to allow our kids not to, and that's the thing. We're going to make sure they maintain that focus. For us, it's a 1-game season, and so we're going to put everything into it, just like last week, sell the farm again, remortgage the house again, to get ourselves prepared and ready to play. And another thing, too, we've got to have, for us to take that next step as a program, not only have we got to continue winning and being productive, we've still got to get our fans in that stadium. We've got to get 30,000 on a regular basis. I'm not going to be satisfied until we're a 30,000 a game football team. And teams that go to 3 or 4 straight bowls, I don't think that's a whole lot to ask. And so I think we're getting there. We're making a lot of progress. I think we definitely are going to have a great crowd this weekend, and we'll need it because it's going to be a tough game. We'll need our fans to be the 12th man. It's going to be exciting, and the more fans are there and the louder they are, the better we are. And so can't wait to see them there, and hopefully have a great weekend. All right, thanks guys.
Thank you, Coach.